crafty friends, welcome to Daily Dose of DIY. My name is Chris and today I'm going to show you how to make these die cut stickers with your Cricut machine. You'll learn how to do already made designs like these. I have these designs for you. There's a set of 10. They just keep on coming. I have a set of 10 stickers for you that you can use to practice this. I'm also going to show you how to turn any SVG file into your own sticker and how to design your sticker yourself in Design Space. We are going to design these together. So let's take a look at all the supplies we're going to need to make this project. First, of course, you're going to need your Cricut, an Explorer or a Maker. You're going to need some printable vinyl, adhesive vinyl. Here's some more of the stickers in that pack. Stay positive, be the change, dream big. And you're going to need some laminate paper. Now, I got this from Expressions Vinyl. They have a nice starter pack that gives you both of these things in one pack. I will link all this stuff for you down below in the description. You'll get the link to my free SVG files, where to find this stuff, plus the link to the written instructions if you prefer to use those. For the laminate, that is what's going to cover and make them waterproof. So we'll have waterproof stickers that you can put on places that might get wet, like mugs or tumblers or your outside of your car. And it is important that you use the laminate. You can, if you're making stickers for just to put on paper or a card or something else, you can use the transfer tape, that clear transfer tape we use to do vinyl or clear shelf adhesive, but that's not really going to hold up in the long term for waterproofing your stickers. You're also going to need an inkjet printer. One of the misconceptions is that you connect your printer to your Cricut, and that is not the case. The printer is going to be connected to your computer either by the cable or Bluetooth wirelessly, however your printer works. But it will go from your computer to your printer and it will print out, and then we will take it to our Cricut to cut it. So next, let's go into Design Space and learn how to do all of this. If you need help uploading and downloading SVG files and stuff, I will link a description and a tutorial on how to do that. I already have these in here, but I'm going to show you the different ways because we're going to cover an already made design and how to change an SVG. So I'm going to come here and upload image. When you get my free files, you'll get both PNG and SVG. We will go with the Choose Kindness, and this is .svg, so this is the SVG file version of that sticker. So I'm going to upload that, and then come down here and click Upload. There's nothing else you have to do with an SVG. And then the PNG. So a PNG is like a picture, right? It's like a picture you would take on your phone. We're doing the Choose Kindness. And this is the .png file. So with PNGs, what you see is what you get. You can see they upload a little bit differently because it automatically knows it's going to be a print then cut image. So I always choose complex down at the bottom so we get all the details. On the next screen, you do not have to do anything. Click Apply and Continue. And then we want to choose the Print then Cut Image and Upload. So now that we have both versions in Design Space, I can show you the Print then Cut image. You add to Canvas. And like I said, it's what you see is what you get. So the only thing you can change on this is the sizing, which it came in a little bit big. So you probably want to downsize it to like a 3 or 4 inch sticker. And then once you have the sizing and how many you want, we'll get into that more farther in the tutorial. Then you're ready to click the Make It button. So that is how to do an already designed for you sticker with a PNG upload. Now I'm going to select the SVG. The benefits of doing an SVG is you can make changes if you wish to the coloring and stuff. Now this SVG already has the background done for you. I will get into how to make a background with an SVG that doesn't have one, but I wanted to show you here you can ungroup up over here at the top. And then if you wanted to change colors, you could come in and like say you want the wording to be red and you want the, I'm just picking random colors here. You want to change the different colors of the sticker that might already be done for you. You can go in and select each color that's already there and change it to something different. And then once you're happy with your changes, you would select everything. And then down here at the bottom of the menu, you would click flatten. And then that tells Cricut we're going to go from an SVG to a print then cut. And it's hard to see on the screen, but we still have that white outline. It's going to cut around that. So that's the benefits of uploading an SVG for a sticker, is you can change the colors if you don't like what's already there. A PNG, you can't change any colors. What you see is what you get. Okay, now we're going to delete these, and then we're going to go into how to design your own sticker, and that will also cover how to do SVG files into stickers also. So Design Space is a little bit limited on what you can do. You can still make great stickers, but say if you want to design a butterfly from scratch, that's going to be near impossible. It could maybe be done, but it's going to take you a lot of time and a lot of headache. There are some little workarounds you can do though to get good designs and make a good sticker. First of all, I'm going to show you designbundles.net, and I will leave this link in the description down below. So if you wanted to do, say, you want butterfly on your sticker, you can just search for butterfly clip art, and it will come up with a bunch. It's going a little slow right now, but it will come up with a whole bunch of different options for you. You can buy. They're usually pretty reasonable, a couple of dollars. These butterflies are $3. When doing stickers, I try to stick to colorful stuff, but you can choose whatever you want. Since it's a print then cut, there's like no limit on what you can choose to cut. You can search in here for whatever clip art that you want. It's a great resource to add. They'll give you the PNG images, so it's a great resource to bring into Design Space and then to make your sticker. You can also, even if you do not have Cricut access, come over here on the left menu and click Images. If you do have Cricut access, you can see you have over 250,000 images that you can use. So Cricut Access is their little monthly subscription. I think it's like $10 a month, and you get their fonts and all of their images and projects in here. Even if you don't have that, you can come over here to see free this week, and this is free for anybody. I am on my account that's not logged into Access, so not always like the best images, but it's worth a look to see. This is where I found the butterflies right here that we're going to use today. So I'm going to select this and then add to canvas. Now this comes in, it's like an SVG, so then we can make changes. First of all, we're going to make it a little bit smaller. We can make changes to the colors if we want. So to do that, I'm going to come over here to the top and click Ungroup. And then you see over here on the Layers menu, we have the different groups. We can select the black and change it to a purple. We can select the blue and change that to a light purple. You can change the colors to however you want because it is like, it's not that flattened image yet. I think I'm going to go back and make like a bigger contrast. I'm going to make the outside black. And then I'm just going to put these off to the side a little bit. We're going to make the one like this that says, believe in yourself. My camera's there somewhere. So I will show you the steps on how to do that. To add text, oh, I messed up my butterflies. Let me put them back together. If you happen to mess them up, you can select them both and then come up here to align if you want to make sure they're right and go back to center. And then I'm going to come over here to the left and just regroup them together so they don't mess up again. And then I'm going to move them over to the side. Okay, so we're going to go to text and I'm going to type in all caps, believe in, and then I want to change this font. So I click the top here for fonts, and then I'm going to go to System Fonts and choose Mitzi Doodle. I will also link to you that font name so you can find it if you want to use this font, and a tutorial on how to get your own fonts into Cricut Design Space if you don't know how to do that yet. So we have believe in, and then I'm going to make another line that says yourself. Whoops, I didn't delete all the text part. Let's get rid of those extra letters. Come on, Cricut. Okay, you'll also notice in this I did the BU in different colors, so I'm going to show you how to do that too. We're going to start with selecting the text and then make a duplicate of it. And I'm going to delete, we're making a duplicate because we want it all to be the same size, all but the B. And then on this line of text, I'm going to delete the B. So here I can change my B to the same lavender color that is the butterfly. And then we're just going to line them up. And I want this, Cricut always defaults to like a dark gray. I want it to be black. So I'm going to change that to black. And if you need help lining it up, you can select both the B and the second part of the word and come up here to align. And then we want to align to the bottom, and that will, looks like it was already there. So now we're going to do the same thing to yourself. I'm going to duplicate that, and to get that little menu up, I just right click, and it will bring up those options. You can also duplicate up here on the layers menu. I'm going to delete the self from this one, and I'm going to delete the U from this one, and then change the U to lavender and the ourself to black. Okay, and then we can line these up so that it looks right. And then I'm going to come back over here and grab the butterflies and just get them in there. However, I think looks good. I might move that over. You can spend all kinds of time designing and getting everything lined up how you want. But once you are happy with how your design looks, we are going to select everything, and this is where we're going to turn it into a sticker. So if this was an SVG already done that you uploaded into Design Space, from this point on you would use this same technique to make a sticker from an SVG file. We've designed this ourselves, and we can use the same to make it a sticker, which we are going to go up here to offset. And once you can see the green line going across, Cricut is thinking about it. Once it gets the offset on there, it's automatically sets at 1/4 of an inch, and that's usually pretty good for stickers. Okay, it finally popped up, and you can see this blue little outline. That is how our Cricut is going to cut out our sticker, and I am mostly happy with that. I will show you how to fix some of these things. So I'm going to click the apply button, and that will apply the little cutout for our sticker. Okay, the offset came in black, and that's fine. I will show you how to change that. The first thing we're going to do is move it out of our way. I'm just going to try to grab it and move it out of the way. We should have done this first before we did the offset, but now is a good time to do it. We're going to select everything and then come to the top and click the group button so that it all stays together as one and we don't accidentally move stuff off and mess up our design. So this offset, you can see there's some stuff in here we don't want. We want to cover up these little spots. We don't want them to cut. So if that happens to you, and it all depends on your design, it might all be filled in nicely. But if that happens to you, come to shapes, and then I'm going to select a circle, and I'm going to bring the circle over here to cover. We might need a couple of circles. Let's see. I want to cover that section there and come down here and cover that up. Okay, I think right there will work. So that covers those two big holes. We're going to have to do another circle. I don't know if you can see on the screen, there's a teeny tiny hole right there. But I'm going to select both of them together, and then I'm going to come down here and click weld, and that puts it all together as one shape. And then I'm going to select another circle in that teeny tiny little spot there. We're just going to cover him up, select them both again, and weld. Okay, Design Space just totally shut down on me. I had to reboot and get back to where I was. But as I was saying, you can change your background to any color you want to match your design. If you wanted to go with a light pink, you could, or a light blue. You can make your background any color you want. For this tutorial, I am going to make it white. And then I'm going to come back over here. I think I forgot to, when I had to reset, regroup this. So I'm going to grab everything here and hit group again. And then I'm going to place our design on top of our offset. Or maybe I'll put my offset underneath the design if that will work better. And then to get it centered, let's just move that down there. Select everything, select everything, both parts, and come to the align and just go to center, and that will put it all together nice and centered for us. This is still a cut image, so if we were to tell Cricut to make it, it would cut all this little stuff out. We don't want to do that. To do a print then cut, we're going to come over here to the layers menu at the bottom and click flatten, and that will change it into a print then cut. So it's going to cut out that white we made, and it's going to print our colorful butterflies. Now, Cricut Print Then Cut does 6.75 by 9.25. So here's what I like to do to make the most of your materials. Come over here to Shapes, and this time we're going to select a square, and I'm going to hit the little unlock button over here on the left, and I'm going to change my width to 6.75, and I'm going to change my height to 9.25 because that is the dimensions Cricut will print then cut. And then I'm going to come to the top here, and I'm going to click arrange, and I'm going to send that to the back so it is behind our sticker. Now you can see what we're working with, and this sticker is going to be too big, so we can downsize him. You can make him as big as you want within these dimensions. If you want to make a bunch, stickers are typically what, 2 or 3 inches. You can downsize it even smaller, and then come up here to the top and hit the duplicate a bunch of times. We'll see how many we can fit on here. I hope I didn't hit it so many times I crashed Design Space again. It's being a little bit fickle today. But then once you have duplicates, start just spreading them out so you can make a bunch of stickers at once and make the most of the vinyl you have. You can also do this with different designs. If you don't want a whole bunch of the same design, you can come in here and design a bunch of stickers and then make your square. Let's see, can we fit more on there? Make your square so you know how to size your stickers to get the most on there and still get a good sticker size. So I have them all duplicated and they fit within our square. It looks like we can make 10 of these stickers. Now we don't need this square anymore. That was just a visual for us. So I'm going to select it and close it out. And then we are going to click the Make It button, and it will bring us over to the matte screen. And then you will see our butterflies are arranged there. This black outline, it will print with your stickers, and that is the registration marks that Cricut is going to use so that he it can cut our stickers. So from here, we're going to click the continue button. And then on the next screen, we're going to send to printer. So your printer needs to be connected to your computer, not to your Cricut. You can choose how many copies you want, which printer you're going to send it to if you have multiple. You want to toggle add a bleed on. That just gives us a little bit margin of error, but it's white. In the case of white background, you don't need to, but if you chose to make your background a different color, you would want to add the bleed. And then I always like to click on System Dialog for one reason. It will tell you after clicking Print, the dialog might go behind the Design Space application, and that's always true for me. So once I click Print, it looks like nothing's happening. It's thinking about it, but we need to minimize Design Space and anything else you have on your computer. There it popped up so we can see this print dialog. And the reason I like to do that is because many times my everyday printing is sent to a very low print quality so that we don't use a lot of ink, right? Because ink is expensive. But when you're making stickers, you want to bump up your quality to a higher quality or to even a photo quality. Otherwise, you'll get those lines from poor print quality on pictures. I'm sure you've done it before. It just does not look good. So it depends on your printer on what this will look like. Mine, I go into presets. I'm going to leave it on default because I already have that set for good. And then you can click the print button. Once you have all of that ready, it's going to come out of your printer then, and then we're going to take that sheet and cut it with our Cricut. One thing before you load this into your printer, you want to double check which, and I just try to pull it apart if you can't tell, which side is your vinyl. So this is the vinyl side on top. The very first time I loaded it into the printer, I thought I was loading it right, but I put the backing side. And then you'll also want to make sure you put this in. So this is the vinyl side. For my printer, I have to put the side I want to print down. You might need to do a test print on your printer to see which side you need the vinyl up, but make sure you get that right before you print, because this is a little bit expensive and you don't want to mess it up. Okay, now that our stickers are printed, we're going to add our laminate sheeting to the top. I cut it down to size. It has a paper backing on the back. It's just like adding transfer tape to vinyl if you've ever done that. So I'm going to peel down one end of the paper backing and then make sure it's lined up and covering my sheet. And then we can press that part down, and then you flip it up and take this little tail here that you created, and at the same time you pull this tail off, we're going to take our scraper tool down the center and lay it down. That way we do not get any bubbles or wrinkles. Once you have the center down, go from the center out to each side, and you just want to make sure you get this laminate stuck down to it good. So we're going to give it a good scrape. And then next we're going to talk about the cut settings to get these die cut. So a lot of this is going to depend on your Cricut. I'm going to trim off my edges a little bit while we talk. And I overdid the laminate over here for a reason, and that is because you probably are going to want to do a test cut. On my Explorer, it cut on the poster board setting, which that is an option on your dial, for me perfectly with no problem. I cut these on my Explorer, like I said, poster board setting, and it came out beautiful. My Maker does not always cut through things like it should. So my Maker, when I cut these, it took a little bit of finagling and some testing of the settings to get it right. If you know your Cricut machine and you know it doesn't have a problem, I would choose the poster board setting. But if you sometimes have a problem cutting through materials that other people say, oh, this was so easy, look, it cut beautifully. Why? I don't understand why you're having a problem. If you have one of those Cricuts, like I do with my Maker, You can cut off, don't cut through the registration marks, but just cut off a little. It's going to be like a half an inch or whatever. And the laminate's on there. And now we have a little test strip we can do and add that to our mat. It's just about 1 inch exactly. And go back into design space and make a little circle or a little heart from your shapes menu and do a test cut and see what it takes you to get all the way through. I'm going to show you on my maker and we're going to see how to adjust all these settings. Let me get this loaded up real quick. I'm doing it backwards, even though it doesn't matter. So the top of the mat is there. You can load the mat from the other end too. I do it all the time. Once the top of the mat loses its stickiness, I just stick stuff down there and load it that way. But we're going to load it in the correct corner. Line it up. That didn't line up too well. Try again. Maybe because I'm doing it upside down. There we go. Somewhat better. And then smooth it again. Smooth it down again with your scraper tool. And then I'm going to go ahead and load mine, and then we'll go back into design space and take a look at these settings. If you have an Explorer and it doesn't cut very well, go to a custom so that you can browse all materials. We're going to browse materials, and then I'm going to come down here to material settings. You can see poster boards here, but poster board just does not work on my Cricut maker. So we're going to go in and we're going to change some things. So these are in here in alphabetical order. I'm going to scroll all the way down until I find poster board. I already had it changed at some point, and then we're going to click the edit button. Poster board normally cut at, I think, like 330 or something. So let's pretend it cut at 313 was the pressure. This line right here is the pressure settings, and then this line right here is how many times it will cut. So I move my pressure settings all the way up to 350, the highest I could go, and then for the times I cut, I'm going to do 6 passes. And that's what it took for my maker to cut through this laminate and printable vinyl to make it a die cut sticker. So once I have these settings how I want them, like I said, go ahead and do that little test cut. See if yours cuts all the way through with poster board set normally, or if you need to come in here and make adjustments. If on the poster board your test doesn't cut through the backing at all, then you're probably going to want to crank it up as high as you can go and do multiple passes. I'm going to go ahead and click save, and then we can get out of here. I think I can just click over here maybe. Yep, click off the screen. And then we're going to select, we have the settings changed. We're going to go back to browse all materials and select poster board. And it will be now at those new settings that we set. It's going to cut it 6 times. I'm even going to come and change my pressure to more. Since I was at the maximum, I don't know if that'll work or not, but we'll see how it goes. It will do 6 passes. It's telling me it's ready to go, so I'm going to click the go button and make sure on here it says 1 of 6, and then I will pause it until it's done and we can take a look at the results and see how well it worked. Actually, first, I forgot, before it gets to the cutting, it will do the scanning, and that's what I told you those lines are for. My head is kind of covering it. Let me move it over. There's a little light down there, and Cricut's just going around on each line, and it's scanning it to see where that line is so that it knows where to cut this. It just helps align everything. So once that's done, I will make sure my screen says it's doing 6 passes, and I will let it cut, and we'll be back to see the results. Okay, it's finished cutting, and I want to give you a tip. If you skipped that whole tested little piece thing from me and didn't listen to that, I feel you. I'm going to show you what to do before you unload your mat. Just peel up the end, and then you can see if it cut all the way through or not. If it did not cut through like that with your mat, don't unload it, recut it again. This is how I got to these cuts. It did the 2 passes and it didn't work, so I tried 2 more passes. It still didn't work. I tried 2 more passes and then they finally cut through. So that's how I knew on this tutorial I needed to do 6 passes at the heavy. So before you unload your mat, double check and see. 6 passes did it for my stubborn maker. So we are going to flip the mat over and peel the mat off of our project here. And you can see they just kind of pop here so they can pull right off. This will help keep them from curling up. If you can just make them pop off, they come off nice and straight. This one doesn't want to pop, but we'll make him. And then they stuck again. So there are our stickers. You now know how to design your own stickers in Cricut Design Space. You know how to bring in stickers to Design Space that are already designed for you. And don't forget, you can get this set free. The light is making it hard to see. There we go. You can get this set free. There's 10 inspirational stickers. The link is in the description for you to get those. And you know how to take any SVG, we showed you on part of this, any SVG and turn it into a sticker. We've gone through all the cut settings and what to watch out for so you can get them die cut. And these are great little sellers. They are like number 4 or 5 most searched for items in Etsy. So if you're thinking of starting your own craft business and starting an Etsy store, it would be a great thing to get started with. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more fun Cricut crafts and tutorials.